coach Brent Vegan. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official home of Cat Chat, every Wednesday night at 6:30. Now, here's your host, the voice of the Bobcats, Keaton Galogly.
Right, hello, and welcome live from Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, we're sounding good in the house, sounding good. All right, that is a great round of applause. I'm Keaton Galogly alongside head coach Brent Vegan. Coach, nice crowd here today.
Yeah, great crowd. Yeah, last one. Hate to see it all come to an end at the regular season here, but a big week obviously for us.
Yeah, it's always bittersweet. I'm sure the guys are tired but excited. It's, you're kind of dragging along, but you're running on adrenaline. So I'm sure it's quite the soup of emotion at this time of year.
Yeah, I think what's been awesome this week is I think we've practiced as well as we have all year. It might be the weather, might be the opponents, it might be a combination of both. But, I think you want to be a team that's getting better in November. I do think through these last couple of weeks, I think that's the case. And obviously a big test in front of us to continue that improvement. Yeah,
boy, the weather. I mean, I don't want to sound like we're just having some small talk, but that really does make a difference when you guys are out there at 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. And, it's whatever it is, 30 degrees and not 2 degrees.
Yeah. With our situation being outdoors, you're at the grace of God, I guess, right? I mean, and we've been very fortunate. I flipped on some film from last year this week. It was not the same. So either way, we're going to get our work done. I know that, and we're going to figure it out. But, it's been nice.
Yeah, it's a fine line between being tough and being crazy at this time of year for sure. All right, well, I do want to update on some other programs going on. We've got obviously a lot going on this time of year with the crossover season. Nice win by the women's basketball team last night at home. Yes, against San Jose State, their first win of the year. They had a pair of Power 5 opponents to start the year. Played well, but that was a great game, great win, 62-49. Caitlin Lamardo had the big three late. They're playing again on Sunday at North Dakota. That game starts at 11 a.m., and Daniel Sally will be on the call for that at 10:45 a.m. Also, volleyball getting into their final weekend this weekend, and they are at home. They are in a tie for second place, a three-way tie at 10-4, and they get to play at home this weekend where they are 10-1 at Troyer this season, and they're taking on first place Sacramento State on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. So big match over there. Then they play on Saturday night at 7 o'clock against Portland State. So big things going on. And then the men are playing at Cal tomorrow night. That is going to be a 9 p.m. Mountain Time tip-off. So be ready for us. We'll be on the air for that at 8:30. I will be there for that. I'm flying out tomorrow morning, so pretty easy to get over there. But, a lot going on this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the season's kicking off. The season's heading into the postseason on our end, and yeah, it's an exciting time for the Cats.
So exciting about all that. Exciting for some seniors. Our player guests today, we got a couple of the big dogs again. We got defensive end Ben Seymour and offensive lineman Holden Samson, who both went through senior day proceedings this week. So excited to talk to those guys. And really overall, Coach, on senior day here against Eastern Washington with the 57-14 win, a lot of the seniors stepped up. That had to be a lot of fun to watch those guys get some big plays in their last regular season home game.
Yeah. I think as far as how you can script it, I don't think it could have gone much better. I know we had a couple of them didn't play in Trayton and Derek, but the remaining 10 of them had a chance to really make contributions, and they were significant as that game went along. And the mark of a really good team is when your seniors are having their very best years, and I think by and large that's the case right now, and we need to for them to continue that play because we want to take this thing as far as it can go.
Yeah, and one of the guys who had a great game was Sean Chambers, the Offensive Player of the Week in the Big Sky. Yes, big round of applause for Sean Chambers. Coach, I don't know that you can get much more explosive than what Sean Chambers did this week. He had 5 rushes, 4 passes, so that's 9 plays, and that accounted for 5 touchdowns.
Not bad. No, not bad. Yeah, and it really started when we popped that run. We didn't score our first drive, and then we got to third and short that next drive out there, and it was 60 plus, about 70 yards on a 3rd and 2, and he was cleared through there and gone. And then, I thought we really had some things set up well, as far as the play action game goes, and we had guys open, and Sean was able to hit them, and the result was 3 touchdown passes, and I know he got another score in there on the ground as well. So, excellent performance by him and Tommy alike. I thought after that first drive, we really functioned at a really high level offensively.
Yeah, those two guys, Tommy and Sean, only played the first half, combined to go 8 for 8 through the air in this ball game. And Tommy continues to impress through the air. Talked to Coach Housewright. We'll hear from him on the pregame show this week. But I asked him a question about which throw has impressed you recently, and one of them was this week on that one where Ty McCullough was kind of getting to the outside, and he said it was just one of those passes that was really long, really far, and it was right on the money from Tommy. Another strong showing from his arm this week.
Yeah, he's I think continued to improve that part of his game. And I think he had improved it. I guess it's just getting to show itself on Saturdays more and more when we need it. And obviously, those two complement each other so well as far as how we're using them. And there's definitely overlap. I think they both were able to run some of the same plays, the same concepts within that game. And Eastern Washington had all those guys down in there, and then we got guys, Ty, CT. In particular, that are creating space. Taco creating space out there. Jacob Trimble. I mean, when you can throw to open guys, it's a little easier to play that quarterback position.
Yeah, boy, the pass catching room, including the tight ends, it does feel like it's getting deeper and deeper. You mentioned Aiden Garrigan's coming back this week as well. Obviously, Taco recently getting back, and Ty McCullough was hurt at the beginning of the year. But Hunter Providence got his first career catch this week as well. Javante King, a true freshman, he got his first career catch. It does seem like you guys are building up that pass catching room.
Yeah, you need to. You want to have a group that's got a lot of different skills and talents because they all can't do the same thing. So how you utilize them within our scheme, I think, is really important. You got those slot guys that can navigate the middle, that can take jet sweeps, that can do some of our RPO game, all the way to those the guys that can stretch the field. And I think bringing along some of those younger guys, Hunter in particular, that's been really important. As we're down a couple of those guys in that room, his emergence, his confidence through these last couple of weeks has been a big piece to what we need moving forward. Because from here on out, he can play in each and every game, and he'll still get this red shirt. But right in here and now, he needs to play winning football, and I think he took a good step towards that on Saturday.
Yeah, that's a lot. So he's catching some passes. Lonergan had one of the key blocks on that touchdown run for Sean Chambers as well. So good to see what we're seeing out of those second and third, or really third and fourth tight ends right now for Montana State. Also, one of the seniors I want to make sure we touch on is Lane Sumner. Sixth-year guy, Montana kid. He's been through so much in terms of his injuries. We had him on the show at the beginning of the year. Got into the end zone. His first touchdown since 2019 with all those injuries and the pandemic. That had to be a special moment, of course, yes. Had to be a special moment. And were you really trying to get him into a spot in this game where he could do something?
Well, I want to give him some opportunities. We did not want Scott Trey to get caught to set that up. I mean, he ran 70 yards and got caught at like the 3-yard line. But no, giving Lane opportunities, I hadn't even realized it'd been that long because he scored a touchdown that in Gold Rush last year, but it got called back. Yeah. So you just assumed that he must have scored at some point, but I know he didn't play all that much. So, getting him that opportunity. I know Lane epitomizes this group. Unselfish, do whatever I can for the team. Continue to persevere. You think all the points in time where Lane probably could have just said, you know what, I'm going to move on. But, he wanted to finish it on his own terms, and I'm so happy for him that he got a chance to get in that end zone again. And, hopefully that'll happen again as this season continues to unfold. Yeah,
no doubt. And he got to score in the Sunny Holland end zone, too, which I know is always special for the guys when you get to score right in front of some of your classmates in front of that student section. So very, very cool there. One of the other things, the distribution of the offense. Now, part of that is you got a chance to rest a lot of guys in that second half, but you had 15 completions in this game to 9 different players, and you had 5 different guys scoring touchdowns. When you do look at the fact that you got to rest some of those players and got to showcase the depth, what did stand out in the second half? And also, now this is turning into a convoluted question, but how important is it to get those guys that little extra rest in the second half?
Yeah, I think, when you look at both sides of that deal, to get some of those guys out there it's a long season, and if we can get them out at points in time, we want to be able to do that. And then to get the other guys in there because you don't know when their time's going to come. That game experience far exceeds practice. We practice like crazy, and our guys get reps in practice, but when you get out there in the game and can learn by doing, that's the best way to do it. So, I thought offensively, we struggled a little bit with that second group. They didn't take their starters out the whole game. I thought on the flip side, defensively, we really did some good things to keep them out of the end zone with that second and third group as the game went along. So really valuable experience for those young guys, for those backups, but then, really beneficial that we got a lot of those guys out the field.
Yeah, very cool stuff. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, and we'll be talking about that 300-pound hunk of bronze that will be on the line in Missoula this weekend as well. So a lot to get to, but first, we're taking a break from Buffalo Wild Wings. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
For every adventure and every mishap, Bozeman Health provides expert, personalized care to each person, going well beyond traditional health care. We're your partner in health and well-being, working together for your day-to-day and the decades to come. With care sites in Belgrade, Big Sky, and Bozeman, and with the only hospitals in the Gallatin Valley, Bozeman Health keeps your care close to home. Find a Bozeman Health provider today at bozemanhealth.org.
Guys, it's buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings, and guess what?
You're gonna be a dad.
What? No, it's Boneless Thursdays, which means free boneless wings.
You'd be a great dad.
Okay, enough.
Buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday only at Buffalo Wild Wings. To the greatest of all times. Buy one boneless wings at regular price. Get one of equal value free at participating locations for a limited time. While supplies last. Limit one, not valid with other offers. Size exclusions may apply. Delivery and takeout available at participating locations through Buffalo Wild Wing website or app. Fees, including service fees, may apply.
Nicely done, Beef. When football fans everywhere cheer for their team, they're cheering for you too, because your savory snacks fuel the gridiron battle. With your tasty sliders, hearty chilies, and drool-worthy steaks, every option is an MVP. Most valuable protein. So gather around the TV and get cooking at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers.
At Levitt Group Insurance, we believe that hard work, dedication, and teamwork are the keys to success. Levitt Group Insurance is proud to present the weekly Bobcat Impact Player of the Game. Each week, a player will be selected because they've proven that they have what it takes to be a game changer. Levitt Group Insurance will always work hard and change your insurance program to fit your needs to be a game changer for your business. To see how we can help you with your business, employee benefits, home and auto insurance, contact a Levitt Group Insurance office near you. Levitt Group Insurance, leaving nothing you value to chance.
Bobcat fans, Lithia Dodge of Billings, Montana's #1 new car dealer and proud partner of Montana State Bobcats, has the new truck you've been looking for, in stock now and ready for immediate delivery. Come test drive a new 2023 Ram 1500 during Power Days at Lithia Dodge in Billings. See why we're Montana's #1 new car dealer. Based on 2020 and 2021 and 2022 new vehicle registration data.
Hello, tomorrow. We may not know exactly what you've got in store for us, for our routines and our normals. But here's the thing. Turns out, we've got this. We haven't seen everything, but we have seen ourselves be more ready for whatever you bring than we thought we would be. So when it comes to tomorrow, bring on the day. First Interstate, built for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Visit us at firstinterstate.com.
We are back at Buffalo Wild Wings, and you are listening to Cat Chat. I'm Keaton Galogly alongside head coach Brent Vegan, and want to remind you to get geared up with the MSU Bookstore, the only not-for-profit university bookstore cooperative that has the largest selection of Bobcat gear around. Shop with us on campus at Bobcat Stadium on game day and 24/7 at msubookstore.org. All right, we're talking a little bit about this win from last week. We're getting ready for the ball game this coming weekend, final regular season game of the year. Big Sky Championship on the line. Basically anything you could have on the line is on the line this weekend in Missoula. But I want to wrap up just a few other topics from this last week. You know, Jordan Reed got another opportunity this week. He goes 7 of 11 through the air, 59 yards. We saw him run a little bit. It does feel like Jordan's continuing to improve, and he's gotten a lot of reps this year, too, in game action.
Yeah, it's been really good for his growth. Now, on the flip side, he really hasn't practiced a whole lot just because, Sean and Tommy get most of those reps. So, I think he got out there. This was the first time in a while in a game and had that length of time. But, worked through some things. I think, I think we've seen way more good than, I'd say bad from Jordan this year. And I think we all realize that he's got a bright future. Brings a little bit different skill set, I think. And, his his experience this year is certainly going to pay down the road.
Yeah, it seems like he's got some really premier arm talent, and he can really kind of throw the football.
Yeah, he can do some things just that aren't very conventional to get and still get the ball out there, and that's unique to Jordan right now. It doesn't take a whole lot. He doesn't need to have his feet all set, which isn't great all the time. I mean, you want to get your feet set when you can, but and I think he's more athletic than people would think looking at him. He's a three-sport guy that is still just figuring out what it means to just be a football player. But it's been a good maturation process for him to this point, and he'll continue to grow, and he's going to be out there at some point down the road and way more important times.
Yeah, very cool to see. Glad we've had the opportunity to see him get out there and get things going a little bit. All right, let's turn our attention a little bit to some of these storylines that are going to play a big role this weekend. One of them, of course, is special teams, something that gets talked about a lot and has been. But for you guys, right now, 3 blocked kicks, 3 blocked punts is what you guys have registered. You mentioned Julius Davis got a fingertip on another one. But the 3 is top 5 in the nation. What have you liked about what you guys have done in that regard?
Well, I think we continue to put pressure on the punter. I think Coach Udy comes up with a good scheme every week to give our guys a chance to put that heat on and make it really difficult for the other the opposing punter. On the flip side, we haven't really generated a lot of returns as of late, but boy, Taco's really stabilized things back there. He's catching everything, and he's we had these last couple games, these punters have been spraying it all over the field, and he's really got to most every ball, and just that. The yardage he's saving us in that regard has been huge, as opposed to not piling up these big returns, because by and large we've been going after a lot of these punts.
So that's good on that side. The other side of it is Brendan Hall, who is the now reigning Big Sky Special Teams Player of the Week after his performance this week. Really no surprise. You could see it in game. The numbers were crazy from this week. This man averaged almost 52 yards a punt. 4 of his 5 punts were down inside the 20-yard line, and he had a 62-yarder. This was a monster game from Brendan Hall in the punt game.
Yeah, and as it turned out, we punted 5 times. That was a little bit of the product, the way the game went in the second half. But he took advantage of all those opportunities, and they have a really good punt returner. Efton Chisholm was one of the best on the other side as far as being able to make people miss. And, he made it really hard, and it's not only his distance, but his hang time has just been incredible. It allows our guys to get down there, and our guys are doing a really good job covering. Our net punt, continues to climb as far as not only in the conference, which we lead right now, but then also in the country. And, it's a stat that doesn't get praised a whole lot, but when you can be up there and net punt, you can flip that field after you didn't get it done on offense. That's such a huge, momentum stabilizer, I guess. It's not like you gain all that momentum back, but you certainly don't give it up. Yeah,
just at least kind of cool it off a little bit, which has been good to see. Have you seen a change in Brendan too now that the place kicking duties are off his plate? You think that affects what he's doing right now?
I don't know. I think he's taken a very similar approach, whether it's been kicking off or punting all year. I think those opportunities have popped up a little bit more, and he's really gotten into a few on the punt side. I don't know that really has much to do with him not place kicking, but it's a tall task, or it was a tall task that we were asking him to do all 3. And I know in inserting Casey, it maybe gave him a little bit of a break, but we're still going to need him obviously to kick and punt and potentially place kick at some point in time. You just don't know, especially with the leg he has. So he's continued to do whatever we've asked and continued to really make a difference.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive to watch what he's been doing so far. Now, for Casey Couchman and the point afters, we did see 2 missed PATs. What'd you see in those 2 misses?
Well, I was more on Casey. I think if anything, he rushed himself and just didn't make really good contact. And in a game like that, we score 57 points. Those 2 points, you don't really even recognize. But he's got to knock those through. We got to be 100% on our PATs in particular. Now he did bounce back and made another field goal, so he's made all his field goals this year. But his role as we continue forward and being accurate and accountable is going to be really critical.
Well, and with a big game this weekend, both teams riding high and playing very well. Field goal kicking could be a very big part of this game. Now, as you kind of look back a little bit for Montana State, first trip over to Missoula since 2021. Obviously, that didn't go great. But at the same time, I mean, the team was in such a different place offensively. Tommy was still lining up as a Wildcat quarterback, playing special teams, and wide receiver. You know, Fonse was running hard, but he was a little bit banged up. And now you got the stable of running backs. You got the 2-quarterback system. When you think about just the journey offensively for you guys, it's come a long way. What kind of sticks out when you think about that?
Well, it's easy to see when you watch that game. You know, having a chance to watch it this week, you know, you kind of you're taken aback to say, boy, you know, where were we at there, and how do we get ourselves out of that? It wasn't just as simple as inserting Tommy. I think, you know, our evolution is continued to be about, you know, recruiting and developing. You know, I think our talent level is different than it was that particular Saturday. Our scheme has continued to grow as that talent has continued to get spread out through the offense. And, you know, I think our ability to grab momentum. We lost momentum early in that game, and we just never really got it back. I think that's what, you know, complementary football is all about. You know, we're not going to make all the plays on offense. We're not going to make all the plays on defense. And, you know, the other side has to be able to pick the other one up from time to time, and that didn't happen that Saturday. You know, our defense really hung in there and played pretty well throughout that day. So, to your point, yeah, we've come a long ways offensively from where we were that day. But then you look at an opponent like we have in front of us. I mean, they are a heck of a defense, and a defense that does stand alone as far as their scheme within all the teams we play. So, you know, we got to get our guys going out there and playing as fast as possible and as aggressive as possible, and that's no easy task.
Right, and, you know, great defense. They were great defense last year. You guys did what you did and got the win last year back in Bozeman, and did so with the ground game. And it was an impressive ground game on that day. And, you know, you think back even to that game and where the offense and the running game was there. It was Elijah Elliott, Marquis Johnson, and Elijah Elliott had a monster game. What a performance for a young man who was, you know, 5th on the depth chart going into that game, and for the Brawl of the Wild to put up over 100 rushing yards. And he stood out early in that game. That was such an impressive performance last year.
Yeah, you watched last year's game in those first couple drives. It was, you know, some big runs by Elijah, and it wasn't just things that were wide open. He was breaking tackles. He was making their defenders miss. And, you know, that's such a big part of this battle between our offense and their defense is, you know, what are we doing in space? Are our guys, you know, able to make their guys miss, or are they going to tackle us every time? And I think if you looked at both the games that we've played since I've been the head coach, stark contrast in those two games. So we're going to have to be able to do that again. And you know, whether it's Elijah or any one of those running backs, they're going to get those opportunities. And then, you know, certainly our quarterbacks will as well. Yeah,
and feeling a little rested in the running back room. Really, the guy who led in carries this week was Elijah Elliott. He had 8. Nobody else had more than 5. Got to feel good about that.
Yeah. You know, it was good to get Julius maybe a little bit of a break. And, you know, he ran so hard and so violently that week before. I mean, he had a couple good runs in that game, but, you know, he's going to be out there that first play, setting the tone, and, you know, excited to see what he can do. You know, Scott Trey was able to, you know, again, get some big runs in there. Lane, we talked about him, Elijah. So, I mean, we got, you know, Jared White in there too. So, I mean, it's a lot different than we were last year. But at the same time, it starts with those guys up front being able to play fast. If those guys aren't coming off the ball and doing the things they need to, you know, what's happening behind them is that much more complicated.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Well, it's another matchup with the top run defense, top rushing offense coming up on Saturday. And last year it was the top rush offense, but that doesn't really matter. There's a whole other game coming up on Saturday. All right, we are going to take a break, but when we get back, we'll get an opportunity. We got Holden Samson and Ben Seymour here, so we'll be talking to those guys here in just a bit. Do want to remind you that Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Go Cats. We're taking a break. We are live from Buffalo Wild Wings, and this is Cat Chat presented by Learfield.
Did you know that Southwest Montana has one of the highest per capita hot tub usage rates in the world? See what your friends and neighbors already know. How great it feels to soak under the big sky. Mountain Hot Tub has helped more friends and families relax in hot water than anyone in Montana. New hot tubs starting at less than $5,000. When you're ready to relieve stress and save money at the same time, come see us at the corner of Huffine and Gooch Hill. Mountain Hot Tub since 1979.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice the meat and cheese for my sub is a sight to behold. The layers of ham, salami, and pepperoni are even more glorious than the pink and orange layers of a sunrise. Yeah, the sun's pretty and all that, but in about 7 billion years it's going to explode, obliterating the earth and every living thing on it. And if there's no sun, there's no subs. Meanwhile, the only thing a sub ever obliterated was my hunger. Freshly sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
At Montana State University, students shape signature experiences that take them across the state and into local communities. MSU is dedicated to its land-grant mission, integrating transformational learning, discovery, and service that improves lives. You'll find our students teaching across Montana, conducting research in the heart of Yellowstone National Park, or even creating small shelter prototypes to address homelessness. Montana State University. Think outside.
From our 1946 roots providing lumber for Yellowstone National Park to our current headquarters in Bozeman, we at Simpkins Howland believe in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past. Contractors large and small benefit from our decades of experience and our extensive network of suppliers. We can source the materials you need, no matter the project. For all your building needs, go to where long-standing traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins Howland, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946.
We are back with Cat Chat. Before we chat with Helena native Holden Samson, let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Cat Chat.
XL Country 100.7 KXLB Churchill, Bozeman, Belgrade. Also in Livingston on translator K254AL.
We are back at Buffalo Wild Wings for another edition of Cat Chat, which is the official radio show of head coach Brent Began and Bobcat Athletics. You can enjoy the show over wings and beer each Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. only at Buffalo Wild Wings, although tonight is the last show, and if you are here, we've got some of our premier giveaways here. We got some autographed helmets we're going to be giving away here in just a bit. All right, time now to introduce Holden Samson. Holden, how we doing?
Doing good. Doing really good.
Yeah, happy to have you on the show.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. We've talked to plenty of the big guys up front this year.
Yep.
Wanted to make sure we talked to you since you went through the senior day festivities this year. Now, still a junior classification, correct?
Yep. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and you came in was it 2019?
Yep.
Or?
Fall of 2019.
Okay. So you got in here one before the season was shut down.
Yep.
Get that extra year.
That crazy stuff
yada, yada, yada. At least you got here before all that went down.
Exactly.
But what was the senior day festivities like for you to be able to go through that?
You know, it was a really cool experience, getting to have my family there with me, to be able to walk out and show the people that I've been working real hard, and to show my support staff with me is really incredible. To have my family and friends there to honor me, I guess, was super great.
Yeah, and so you're a Helena native?
I am.
Bobcat family or Grizzly family?
Bobcat family. Well, a little bit of both. My dad coached high school football, so we kind of see both sides of where players go to Montana or Montana State. But then kind of really changed when my cousin back in 2012 played center for the Cats as well, and he was an All-American here. So it was a kind of flip that switch of like, yeah, I'm kind of more Bobcat here. So that's it.
Yeah, that'll work. And hey, when you're coaching and somebody goes over and plays in the maroon, you can root for the man or the player.
Exactly.
You want people to be happy.
Yeah.
But very cool. So as you were going through your recruitment process, what were some of the things that stood out? I mean, how much was it, I want to get to Montana State, or was there other teams that were real close?
No, it was Montana State all the way. You know, I mean, you look at this place and you know it's great. The people here, support staff, it's unbelievable. There's no other place like it. You know, and when you step foot on campus, you put on that blue and gold jersey, you feel at home. So that's why.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you come to a lot of games as you were growing up?
Yeah, quite a few. I remember my cousin's last game when they played North Dakota State here and lost. But I mean, it was a tough one. But yeah, I remember coming to quite a few and be able to support them and see them was pretty cool.
Yeah, let me move the mic up just a little bit there too. There we go. That'll help too. Yeah, no, definitely cool to be able to do that. And now you're a guy getting in and out there a lot for Montana State. Got in a lot in the second half too this week, which was a lot of fun to see. How much pride do you guys take when you come in with that whole second line and you're able to help keep that ground game going? I mean, when you think about how many times Montana State's gone over 300 rushing yards, 400 rushing yards, that's because you guys are blocking a lot of that back end. It'd be real easy to kind of take the foot off the gas. But how much pride do you guys have at the end of that game when you are continuing to push things forward?
There's so much pride. We hold ourselves to a high standard, and when we get in there, we want to do the exact same, if not better, when the first guys in there. Me and Burke and JT that were in there last week, we hold ourselves to a high standard, and we want to show them that we can do this, and we will run the ball more. So that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, no doubt. What is it like in that offensive line room? We've talked about it some, but it just seems like everything's dialed. The work ethic, the camaraderie, the chemistry, the strength. I mean, what is it like from your perspective when you're in that room?
It's the relationships. We can sit in there and we watch film all day, and we talk to each other, and it's truly a family. And it's the brothers you never had, I feel like, because I grew up with a little sister, and having them in your room and being able to talk to them, give them crap every once in a while, it's a really cool deal.
Yeah. So now, as somebody who's got another year of eligibility, but going through the senior day festivities and all that, so where are you right now in terms of your degree and the real life part of things?
Yeah, life gets it gets here fast. It feels like I was just here in 2019, getting here as a freshman, and then I'm going to be student teaching here in the spring, and then from there, I don't know.
Okay.
So that's kind of the deal.
Where do you want to stay? You want to get back to Helena? You want to go somewhere else where you're just needed? I mean, I know a lot of schools around the state need teachers.
Oh, yeah,
so, where do you want to go?
I want to stay in state, kind of closer to Helena, closer to home, see what happens.
Yeah. And so elementary ed, is that just teaching one class the whole time, or are you teaching multiple subjects?
So it kind of depends. Like, it's a K-8 major. So basically K through 5 is one classroom, but once you get in that 6th through 8th grade, you kind of teach a specific subject.
Okay. What's your favorite subject to teach then?
I'm a big math and science guy. I like teaching that, yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
We need more people learning math and science.
Yeah.
What kind of science? Anything, or is it more general?
Like life science, biology kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I like that. So you got like a favorite animal if you like the life and biology science?
Ooh, that's tough. I'd probably have to say like an elk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
like elk.
Are you a hunter too then?
I am a little bit, yep.
Okay, so you got a lot of respect for elk.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, the chase and the feed.
They're cool animals,
Yeah, no doubt. That's very, very cool. All right, so getting into that, and so I don't know how are you going to kind of make that decision? You're going to just see how you feel, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, honestly. It's so hard.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to see how this year goes and how everything finished out, and if I feel like I need to come back and support my team, I will. So that's how I'll feel.
I want to make sure I ask you about some of those other second-line guys, too. Obviously, to this point, knock on wood, we've been lucky, not a lot of injuries, but important to have depth right there.
100%.
Who are some of the guys on that second line are just beasts? Who's got the big motor on that second line?
Burke, Mastel, Tommy Nielsen, Cedric, their tackle. There's Jacob Kettles when he comes in there. Everyone has a big motor. Once we get in there, we're ready. We're ready to roll and kind of let the horses loose.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's got to be nice, too, that you guys have a nice group that's kind of like set. We are the number 2 guys, and we're coming in when we got to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. We practice all week, and we're those guys, and once we get in there, we'll go crank it up.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you make sure you took some time on Saturday to really soak in the atmosphere and appreciate it?
Oh, absolutely. That atmosphere at Bobcat Stadium, there's nothing like it. And once it's that senior day, you're walking out there, look out, see everyone, see all the fans. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. What stood out? Like, was there something you noticed? I feel like sometimes like the littlest thing just totally sticks out when you try to look around and soak it in.
When I was looking back, it was I saw the flags, the national championship flags, and how there was kind of the couple empty, and I think we need to get one up there.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of noticed.
I like that.
Yeah.
Right, because there's the 3 national championships.
Yep.
There's 4 flags,
Yep.
and one of them's just that round
There
NCAA.
is. Yes, it is.
It'd be real nice if there were some gold numbers up there.
No kidding.
All right, I got to relay one question from my partner, RJ Fitzgerald.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to get you on record. Who would you pick as a rope and stroke partner from the golf tournament?
You know it's RJ.
It is RJ.
Yeah, I'm the roper and he's the stroker, so that's all it is.
Okay, good. I wanted to make sure. He wanted to make sure you got that.
Oh, yeah, he knows that.
Yeah. So was he the best golfer on the team last year?
100%.
Was
I don't think him, Cole Sane, Coy Steele was a pretty good golfer. So I mean, it was kind of a toss-up between those. But when those guys went out, you know they're going to be playing golf, not messing around for sure.
Yeah. All right. Because when we had Tucker Rovig stop by on one of the on the sideline, and
Yeah.
he was trolling. He said that he was better than RJ.
Oh,
but
I don't know about that.
Okay, good.
I don't know about that.
So you're backing up RJ because
Oh, yeah,
RJ said the exact same thing.
No, I support RJ 100%.
No doubt. All right, final thing before we let you go, and we talk to Ben Seymour. Obviously, a big game this weekend over in Missoula.
Yep.
What are some of the keys to success on Saturday?
Run the ball. You go run the ball, take care of the ball, stop or run on defense, and go take care of business.
All right, run the football. Easy enough.
Yes, sir.
That's why we got sweatshirts
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
it. All right, Holden Samson joining us today.
Perfect.
Appreciate the time, Holden.
Thank you.
All right, we are taking a break. When we come back, we're talking with Ben Seymour. We are live for Buffalo Wild Wings. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
For every peak, valley, and plateau, for every mishap and every adventure, for every Montanan in every season of life, Bozeman Health is here to deliver care with quality, compassion, and respect. Because we see you as more than the patient you are today. We look to what's on the horizon for you and our community over the decades to come. That's care beyond care. Well beyond Bozeman Health.
At Montana's Rib and Chop House, our guests and service are our top priorities. We've been serving Rocky Mountain communities signature steaks, delicious seafood, and award-winning baby back ribs for over 20 years. Whether you're celebrating an important milestone, want to watch a big game, or just grab lunch with friends, we're your local spot that feels like home. We have locations in Bozeman, Billings, Butte, and Livingston, so you can enjoy Rib and Chop House across Montana. We look forward to sharing a little Rocky Mountain hospitality with you soon.
Hello, tomorrow. We may not know exactly what you've got in store for us, for our routines and our normals. But here's the thing. Turns out, we've got this. We haven't seen everything, but we have seen ourselves be more ready for whatever you bring than we thought we would be. So when it comes to tomorrow, bring on the day. First Interstate, built for you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Visit us at firstinterstate.com.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
No matter how far you may go, there's always one just down the road. Town Pump, who pump it up, pump it up.
Town of Pump is excited to once again sponsor the Brawl of the Wild Rivalry Series between Montana State and the University of Montana. Look for special Brawl of the Wild promotions throughout the year at your local Town Pump.
Town Pump, right down the road, pump it up, oh yeah.
Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Shop in store at their North 7th Avenue location or online at shop.msubobcats.com for everything you need to cheer on your Bobcats. Universal Athletic, a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Go Cats!
I wanted to put up a fence to protect my tomato plants. So I grabbed this, and then I did this. But instead of yielding a big crop, I hit a utility line and had to pay $1,200 in repairs. I didn't just lose my pride and joy, I could no longer afford the new stovetop I'd been saving up for. Next time, I'm going to make my free call to 811 before I dig.
Learn from Curry and hundreds of others. Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Montana811.org.
We are back at Buffalo Wild Wings for another edition of Cat Chat. Want to remind you to gear up for Catterday over at the only not-for-profit university bookstore cooperative that has the largest selection of Bobcat gear around. That is the MSU Bookstore. You can shop with the MSU Bookstore on campus at Bobcat Stadium on game day and 24/7 at msubookstore.org. All right, we are joined now by another guy going through all the Senior Day festivities this week. Ben Seymour. Ben, how we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, let me try that again. How we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing quite well. Getting ready to rock, getting into the final game of the regular season. But first of all, a senior through Senior Day festivities this week. What was it like this weekend?
It was super special. And Senior Day is obviously recognizing us as players, but I think it's also a special moment for your parents, your family that have gotten you to where you are today. And so for them to take the field with us, experience what we get to experience every Saturday was super special for them. I know they loved it, and it meant a lot to me to have them there.
Yeah, were you? How have they supported you? Are you from a football family, or what's the support been like?
It's just been unwavering support from them. My road hasn't been easy to get here, but they supported me. My dream was to play college football, and it was a long road to get here, but they believed in me. They let me chase after my dream, and it got me here.
Well, we're all happy to have you here, no doubt about it, especially after that great fumble return and a lot of the things you've been doing this week and throughout the year and last year and beyond. But I want to talk about your journey to get here because you mentioned that. College of the Canyons,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
a JUCO?
Yes,
Okay.
JUCO in Valencia, California.
Yep, so kind of close to home for you?
Yeah, very close to home. I stayed at home for an extra year and went to school and saved a little bit of money rather than walking on somewhere.
Yeah, so why did you do that? Why did you decide to go the JUCO route versus walking on somewhere?
I decided to go the JUCO route just because I knew a couple guys on the team at COC, at College of the Canyons, and they're known for getting guys scholarships. They're known for getting guys out of there, and so I really thought it was a no-brainer, and just saving money, saving my parents money rather than walking on somewhere. Just it's not guaranteed if you walk on, but as long as if you work hard at the JUCO, you'll earn a scholarship, and so I felt like that was a better plan for me.
Yeah, there's another College of the Canyons guy on the roster now, right?
Yeah, Cole Bullock also went to College of Canyons. We weren't there at the same time, but he was just right after me. But I did play him in high school too. We played each other in high school,
Okay.
so I did know him before we got to here.
Always cool to see those kind of connections.
Yeah, it is. It is very cool.
Well, what's it like? I mean, we talked to Blake Hill last week about his JUCO journey. We talked to Blake Stillwell, who had a crazy JUCO journey, was all over the place. But what was your experience like there in terms of facilities and the chemistry in the locker room? Because I can imagine that the locker room could, in some places, get a little toxic because everybody's trying to get out of there.
Yeah, it's definitely very me culture because everyone's trying to get out, everyone's trying to get their scholarship, but you are putting in the same hours, you are putting in the same work as everyone else. It's just how disciplined can you be, because some of those guys are there for a reason. They're not the most disciplined group of guys, but there are the good guys that are with you. They're there trying to get out like you, and so you kind of find your good group of guys that you hang out with. And I had two best friends, and they both ended up going out. One went to Idaho State, and one went to Abilene Christian, and so we were definitely those guys that were working hard, were pushing each other, and we ended up getting out because I feel like it reflected our work that we were doing when the lights weren't on us.
Yeah, how much accountability did you have there from your coaches versus just having to be totally self-motivated?
Well, COC definitely runs a strict program because they do get guys out that that's their goal. They're not trying to keep you there and just keep their program good. They do have a good program. They're trying to get guys out. They're trying to get guys scholarships and help them reach their dreams. So they do run a pretty strict program, but there is a lot of self-motivation. There's a lot of self-discipline, holding yourself accountable so you can achieve your dream, because at some point there is going to be a fork in the road where you kind of have to choose the right thing for yourself to make it out.
Yeah, no doubt. We asked Blake this last week, and I thought it was an interesting answer. But when you think about the resources you had at JUCO versus the resources you have here now, obviously it's a lot, but what stands out? What's the number one thing that you're like, oh, I'm so stoked I have this now that I didn't have there?
And it might be super simple, but when I was at COC, the gym and the weight room was under construction, so we didn't even have lights in the gym. We had little construction lights, so just having lights on in our weight room is honestly a big thing for me. I know that's pretty lame, but it was kind of a weird deal working out with just little yellow construction lights hanging up.
Yeah, that's some Rocky stuff right there.
It is. But we made it work. We worked hard, and It got me here, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, no doubt. That's I can definitely imagine that. Just one bulb hanging over your head, just getting it in. Hey, the weight doesn't know how much light there is in the gym.
Exactly. Yeah. As long as you can get it up, as long as you can just do this right here is all that matters.
So now we got plenty of sunshine, a lot of natural light in that gym. I mean, it's a beautiful facility.
Yeah, it's definitely night and day from what I had at COC, and so I'm super lucky to be here and super grateful for all the fans and the donors that contributed to the facility because it is very awesome.
Yeah. Now you had a monster year in your 1 year at College of the Canyons. It was 12 sacks that season. So
yeah.
What were kind of attention were you getting after that first year, and how did Montana State stick out?
I didn't really have, even after having a good season, I didn't really have that many that much attention on me, and I did have 2 scholarships to schools on the East Coast. I really wasn't a fan of the East Coast for whatever reason. I felt like that was too far from home, being from California, and so I kind of wanted to stick somewhere on the West Coast, and so I kind of turned down those 2 offers. And when Montana State came, it was during COVID, actually, with Coach Choate, and when we were going through the recruiting process, I never really met them. I never really got to see the facilities, never got to come up here, so I kind of just blindly signed to Montana State. What really made the decision for me was that the program was on the rise. Like, we had been to the playoffs, we'd won the Cat Grizz game, we'd had this lot of success, and we were on this kind of upwards trajectory, and so that made my decision easy of coming here and signing kind of blindly. And then when I got up here, I realized, like, I'm really lucky that I ended up here.
Yeah, boy, what a smart decision I made.
I know, exactly.
Yeah. So you got recruited by Choate, and then the coaching change.
Yep.
So what was that like from your perspective when you're getting you get to know a new coach in that window?
Yeah, and especially with COVID happening, we didn't really have a season. We didn't really have a fall camp. We never really had any football, so I didn't know what football was like with Coach Choate and that group of guys. And so when Coach Vegan came, it wasn't really a whole culture shock for me because I was still experiencing it for the first time, just like everyone else. And so for me, it wasn't that much of an adjustment. It was just like understanding what was happening now, because I was just trying to be present in the situation because I didn't know what to expect, honestly.
Yeah, well, what's happening now is you got an opportunity for back-to-back Big Sky Championships on Saturday, which is an exciting opportunity over in Missoula. But I want to talk a little bit about this game last week. Obviously, the fumble return, you had to elbow Nolan Askelson out of the way and almost got in across the goal line.
Yeah, I went up to Nolan after the play. We're kind of giving each other crap after, but I definitely picked the ball up after hitting him out of the way. But we made up for it once he got that interception a couple drives later. So it evened itself out because we're both seniors. We both wanted to make that big play, and so we both got our big play.
Yeah,
good.
Well, and David Alston basically stole that interception. Well, not basically, but he was right there with Kenneth Iden on the interception early. So yeah, you guys got a little competition on that defensive side.
I know. Yeah, it's a production-based business. You gotta find a way.
Yeah, no doubt. So very cool in that regard. In a big game from the defensive line, we could talk about all the big names we've talked about, but Paul Brott, he's been coming in. I think this was one of his best games. First career sack in this game. What's it like watching Paul Brott go to work? He's
definitely a guy that just grinds every day. He puts his head down and goes to work, and he knows what he wants to achieve because of his older brother, Mitch, that was an All-American for us a couple years ago. So he knows what he wants. He knows what he wants to achieve. He wants to be great. And so for him just to attack everything that he does, for him to work as hard as he does, it's a good thing to see.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool to watch that work. And then the guy on the other side, Brody Grebe, man, what a year he's had. What's his motor like watching?
Brody just attacks everything that he does. When you say how you do anything, how you do everything, that's kind of how Brody gets down. And so he definitely treats everything the same. He always wants to put his best foot forward, always wants to attack everything, always wants to just get better at everything he can.
Yeah, he's big and strong now. He only needs like one hand to bring a quarterback down these days.
Yeah, no, Brody is definitely a great pass rusher. He puts O-line in bad spots, and how quick he is, how fast he is, he definitely can bend the edge and really get after people.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch. It's going to be important this weekend. And before we talk about that, so again, senior, so you're finishing up. Have you thought much about what's next up for you?
There is kind of some thoughts about what happens next, but I want to enjoy this last season that I have. I want to just take it day by day, game by game, and wherever I kind of end up, I'll worry about that next semester. because I'm doing the master's program right now for accounting. I'm studying accounting, and so I'll worry about all that stuff in that next semester that I'm around, but I want to just enjoy football, focus on football right now, and worry about that stuff when I can, when I have free time too.
Yeah. Well, the focus on football now is going over to Missoula this Saturday. What are some of the keys? What do you guys got to do to be successful on Saturday?
We just have to play as a group up front as a D-line. We have to rush together. We have to earn the right to rush, stop the run, and just play discipline, make it about us. Play with great technique and know that they're going to be giving them their best shot, and so we have to give them our best shot right back. And so it's a game that means a lot more than it kind of seems on paper, but it's a fun game to be a part of for sure.
Yeah, you guys ready for that environment over there?
Yeah, and luckily all the guys that have played, like they're playing right now, played back when we played there in 21. So we definitely are familiar with that environment, how hostile it is. So it's kind of good to have that experience under our belt.
Are you guys relying on or going to the other hostile environments you've been in this year? I mean, I know over there they're going to have 6,000 or 7,000 more than what we saw at South Dakota State, but that 19,000 at South Dakota State, they were loud, man.
Yeah, especially at that one end zone with that student section. But at some point there is like a hostile environment, but at some point it's kind of just all blends together. It's all loud, and so. And especially on the defensive side, you're not really experiencing it as much as offense, but it is going to be a hostile environment no matter like what side you're on. Cat Grizz game.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. I can't wait. All right.
Me too. Super excited for it.
Ben Seymour joining the show. Appreciate everything and more to go.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for having me.
No doubt. All right, we're taking a break, and when we get back, we'll get you ready for this game on Saturday. We're live from Buffalo Wild Wings. This is Cat Chat presented by Learfield.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
From our 1946 roots providing lumber for Yellowstone National Park to our current headquarters in Bozeman, we at Simpkins Hallen believe in building the Gallatin Valley's future while continuing to honor its past. Contractors large and small benefit from our decades of experience and our extensive network of suppliers. We can source the materials you need, no matter the project. For all your building needs, go to where long-standing traditions have met with quality building products for over 75 years. Simpkins Hallen, a Montana tradition among builders since 1946.
Did you know that Southwest Montana has one of the highest per capita hot tub usage rates in the world? See what your friends and neighbors already know. How great it feels to soak under the big sky. Mountain Hot Tub has helped more friends and families relax in hot water than anyone in Montana. New hot tubs starting at less than $5,000. When you're ready to relieve stress and save money at the same time, come see us at the corner of Huffine and Gooch Hill. Mountain Hot Tub since 1979.
Bridger Brewing is home to award-winning locally crafted beer and pizza and is proud to support all things Bobcat sports. Open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, last beer served at 8 p.m. and located right across from the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse. Stop by after the game today to enjoy a cold pint of beer and a slice of made-from-scratch delicious pizza. Dine-in service and online ordering for takeout are both available. Check out BridgerBrewing.com and at Bridger Brewing on Instagram and Facebook, and stay tuned for updates on our newest adventure in Three Forks, Montana.
Montana holds some of the greatest hunting in the country, and much of that occurs on private land. Access to private land is a key part of hunting and wildlife management, but that access is at risk with every gate left open, piece of litter left behind, or torn up ag field from someone driving where they weren't allowed. As hunters and guests in Montana, we must do better. Get familiar with Montana's block management program and follow the rules for every block management area you hunt, because we either do better or we'll lose access. It's that simple. It's up to us. Respect access, protect the hunt.
We are back one final time on Cat Chat on the final show of the season. Appreciate you all joining us throughout the year. And don't forget, you can join us for the basketball Cat Chat starting that first Tuesday in January over at the Ribbon Chop House when we start talking some basketball. But for now, we're going to focus on some football as we get ready for the 122nd edition of the Brawl of the Wild. And Coach, just the way we want it. Everything's on the line. Both teams are playing well. They've won 6 straight. And for them, I think if people were only kind of sort of paying attention, they got off to a slow start, but they found their quarterback in this kid, Clifton McDowell. Seems like he's a real weapon. What are some of the things we're going to see from Clifton this weekend?
Well, he's dual threat. Has shown a really a great ability to run the football, not only on design runs, but then extending plays. And, they do a good job of putting in position to make those plays. And then, I think as the season's gone along, they got a really good receiving core. So, finding ways to get the ball down the field, he's been able to continue to do that as well. So, yeah, the switch to him, was that transition for them, I think. And the credit to them, they found a way to win a bunch of those games early, too, where they maybe did struggle. So, I'm sure right now they don't remember how those games even went. They got a W. They're playing well, and he's been a big part of it.
Also, Eli Gilman, a freshman running back for them, a redshirt freshman. He's having a monster year. He's already set the freshman rushing record for them over there. He's wearing number 10. So it's him and Nick Osmo who've been their main running backs. But tell me a little bit about Gilman. What are some of his strengths?
Yeah, downhill runner, breaks tackles, and then if he gets out in the open, he can certainly finish runs as well. And then he's caught the ball in the backfield fairly well, screen game, check downs, those type of things. So, a good player for a young guy, and we got to be able to contain him for sure.
Now on the defensive side, they did lose a lot of guys, some of the maybe bigger, flashier names, but they still have put up some big numbers. They're actually allowing fewer rushing yards per game this year than they were last year coming into this matchup. So how do they succeed in stopping the run? What are their strengths in that regard?
Well, it's a tough scheme. I said it before. It's a unique scheme, and you got to figure out ways to attack it. And for some teams, they just soon throw it, I guess. I think that's part of it. But I think we proved last year. You can run on them. In particular, if you can spread the field, make them defend sideline to sideline. Utilize a lot of different guys touching the football. But really, again, it comes down to those guys up front being able to play fast. I think that's part of what happens is all the things they do makes it really hard if you're trying to communicate and at the snap they make a movement or something like that. We just got to allow our guys to run, play hard, be physical, and really set those ball carriers up.
Well, and as they try to get teams to pass the football, they are tied for first in the conference in terms of interceptions. They've got 13 of them this year. What do you see in the DB room, and what do they do to take the ball away?
Well, they get a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. I think they force quarterbacks into a lot of complicated decisions, tough decisions, snap decisions, those type of things, and a bunch of balls get thrown up. And they've done a good job of making those plays when those opportunities are there for the taking. It's an aggressive form of defense, and we got to counter that with an aggressive form of offense, whether that's running or throwing.
Yeah. Well, all right. Here we go. Anybody in the house making the trip over there on Saturday, or are you guys mostly watching from here? Yeah, mostly watching from here. I like that. You can do that. Stay warm and stay in the friendly environment. All right, Coach, we did it. We've reached our last Cat Chat of the year. Thank you for everything. And on behalf of the fans, thank you for answering questions and just giving us some X's and O's. I know it's hard. We don't want to give away too much, but I do feel like fans are very informed, and that's because you're willing to come up here and talk an hour a week.
Well, thanks to you, to Buffalo Wild Wings, for the fans that come out, the regulars that come out each week. Happy to do it. Spread our wings across the state live, and then certainly through the Prod podcast. I think an informed fan is a good fan, so we do everything we can to help them out.
Yeah, we got some of the best and most informed fans in the country. Thank you, everybody, for showing up every single week. We love seeing you at Bobcat Stadium and everything we've got. And thank you as well to Ben Seymour and Holden Samson, who joined us. Trevor Dominick has been our producer today. For the final time this year from Cat Chat, thank you for joining us. This is Keaton Gallogly saying so long from Buffalo Wild Wings. You've been listening to Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
You've been listening to Cat Chat with head football coach Brent Vegan. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official home of Cat Chat, every Wednesday night at 6:30. The preceding has been a Learfield